everybody. I'm really excited to share this idea with you guys. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I just thought I might as well document my process as I'm going in the event that it does work, and you guys might want to try it too. So you all know how we've been making these junk journals out of composition notebooks, and just, I do my junk journal entries and journal in it all the time, and I also use it for sketches and stuff, and that's what this is here, some of the sketches I was doing for this next project. And then, coupled with that, I also need a day timer. I'm one of those people that has to write things down, and with our doula business, and we have client appointments and things, I need a day timer, and so I've always bought them. First I started buying the standard ones from Staples or, Office Depot, and then last year I had a one, who was it by? I had a Kelly Ray Roberts day timer. And then this year I thought, you know what? I'm going to combine my junk journal, love of junk journaling, and make my own day timer. So I thought about it for a while, which is what all these sketches were about, and I looked at the calendar, and I thought there's typically only 5 weeks in a month. So I had this book that I bought from Michael's, because I'm sure I'm like you guys, you buy a lot of these journals that you think you're going to do something with. These were Artist Loft fashion journals, and they were on sale, I believe, for about $3, and they're quite nice, and they have this kind of a flat fold. I'm going to do the cover later, but I just wanted to get you on starting on the process of how I made the day timer. So, or how I'm making it, because I haven't made it yet. So I measured my page here with the lines on it, and it was, mine measured out to be 5 1/4 by 7 3/4. Actually, it was 5 1/2 by 8, but I wanted to leave a little bit of space on either side so it didn't overlap and, gets in that crease there. So this was 5 1/4 by 7 3/4. So I should write that down here. 7 3/4 inches. So that was my template for the pages. So I thought, okay, what I will do is make sort of a perpetual month calendar that I will have on the front page. And then, or like on this page here, so it would say January and have all the spaces. I haven't done that part yet. But then for every week in the month, I made a different template just by, I got the idea of Pinterest, and then I just started playing around myself. So this one, I just started doing angles all around, and then I inked it with a Zig calligraphy pen, and because it's waterproof, because the whole idea is I'm going to watercolor and doodle in here, so it's going to be the coolest looking art journal, I hope. So, started off, that's the week of, that's 1 week. And this was another one I did, week of, and I kind of added the little cloudy things. And I literally went to my paper scraps and just pulled out little scraps of paper like this and just traced around just to give me, I needed 7 places to write in my day timer, and then a little margin to write the week of so I could write that in. And all these other blank spaces here are for doodling and for drawing and for sketching and all that, so you can have a really artistic day timer. So that's another week. Here's another one. So it says the week of, and then I put Thursday as a little bit of a banner. Totally left a blank space there, and so I can do whatever I want. I can rubber stamp, whatever, but I still have my day timer with all my important information. Here's another one. This is very simple, very angular. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Easy peasy. And then my last one, and it just says a new week. And then even for this one, I had a cup on my, actually a candle. You know me, I always have a candle burning. And I just took the candle and made a little shape there for Monday. Here the lines, when I drew them with the pen, went crooked, so I just added some extra double lines to give it kind of a cool look. Wednesday, put an arrow, Thursday there, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And as we all know, we don't have every single day full of things to do. At least I don't. So on the blank spaces on the page, I'm going to use that for watercoloring, marking with Copic markers, whatever. So that's the start. So now all I have to do is create my perpetual monthly calendar. So then I'll need one of those, and what I'm going to do is photocopy however many I need. So there are 52 weeks in a year, so I'll have to do enough for each week, and then 12 blank templates for the month. So I'll get that started and I'll be back. I've just finished cutting out all of my calendars and weekly pages, and I kept the masters in case I want to do this again, and then I photocopied 5 for each week in the month, and I did all of them, and then I made a master monthly perpetual calendar. Oops, it's upside down. So it'll start with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on, and then down here I can doodle in the month and put little doodles in there. I cannot wait to do this. And so here's all my different weeks. So every month I'm going to use a different page for a different week, and then they'll just repeat themselves throughout. And I saved all the masters. So here's the master of the perpetual calendar. And I kind of cheated a bit. I went online and found one, and then just traced over it with that calligraphy pen so that it kept in the same, you know, lines and of the black bold lines that I've got for the weekly template. So I've got them all in this folder because I'm the kind of person that wants to totally complete this job all in one day. But then that takes the joy and the fun out of it, and I know it's an impossible thing to do. So I've got it all in here, and before I start to adhere the months and weeks into my journal, I'm going to show you what I'm going to cover it with. So here's a journal. Typically I usually love these kind of tones, like with the kind of distressed look with the keys on it and everything, and I probably would normally just leave it like that and maybe add a key to it, but this time I was out yesterday shopping at IKEA, and there were so many bright colors, and it's so gray and gloomy here that I thought, you know what, I need a little color in my life. So they had some fabric swatches on sale, gorgeous. So I bought this gigantic piece. I mean, it is folded in half here. You can see how big it is. And it has all these awesome, beautiful prints on them like that, and this bird in the cage, and that sort of looks like a tree scrolly thing. Not even sure what this gingham piece has on it. I'm going to try to unfold it a little bit. Hang on. Whoa. Oh, there. There we go. So it's got another bird, a bunny, some clouds. It is just so cool. So I am going to cut out, there's another bird, a squirrel, a rabbit, and a turtle. Oh, this one's cool. I like that one, the green with the deer and the barn. So I'm going to cut out a couple of pieces that I think will fit on this cover here, and I'm going to use spray adhesive and glue it on, and that's going to be the color of my journal, and I'm going to set the tone that I want it to be bright and happy. So I'll get started. Okay, I cannot begin to tell you how much I love the way this fabric covered this journal. So I got the brightness that I was looking for. I did lose the fact that the magnet that was attached here doesn't seem to work through the fabric, but no problem. I had one of those bands from Smashbooks, and it's turquoise and nice and bright, so I'll just use that to keep the book closed. And I just cut out a straight panel of, this was the piece here. It had the deer and the cow, and up here, I don't know if you can see up here, hold on, there. See, it had the green, and then the little barn in the country, and then this was all one continuous piece. And then I adhered, I went outside and really sprayed it well. Well, I didn't go outside, I went to my deck door and opened it up, and really sprayed it well with the spray adhesive, because it's really important to have good ventilation when you're using that kind of stuff. But I am telling you, love, love, love how this turned out. So then with a little bit of the scraps left over, but I wanted to keep the other pieces intact without disturbing them, I just took a corner of the bright yellow and a corner of that pink gingham, and I just used the Tim Holtz tattered floral die with the Sizzix and cut out a nice little tattered flower, and I'm sure eventually it's going to all get all frayed, which is even more perfect. And then I was thinking, what could I put on the top of this that says day timer, or so we know it's my day timer? And I didn't want to make it too, don't want to use too many paper elements except on the inside. So I went through, I save all kinds of old jewelry. Anybody that knows me knows that. And I just put it in bags like this, like pins I get. And this was when I worked at a school. This was my name tag. And it's got the school logo on it. And they're starting to look even really quite vintage. Look, it's yellowing and it's got the school logo on it. And just all kinds of stuff. And I have this watch from my great aunt Dorothy. And so what I did is I just took these little needle nose pliers and carefully pried it away from the band. And I'm going to use the center of her watch that stopped at 12:15 as my title for my day timer. So I'm not even going to put any words on this anywhere. That is my title. So I'm just going to assemble this right now. And oh, I just wanted to mention, I'm not sure if I mentioned in the last segment that this big, huge fabric panel at IKEA only cost $5.99. And I'm telling you, I got tons and tons and tons of, as you could see, different sort of great fabric designs on one piece of fabric. So I love that. So, you know, don't be afraid to play with fabric in the same way you would use paper. So I'm just going to adhere, put my flower together, adhere the watch, and then I'm going to work on the inside. Well, I finished up my day timer, and I really love how it turned out. And what I love more about anything is how whimsical it is. I mean, most of us think of a day timer and we think of, you know, a stuffy thing that you keep all of your business and appointments and things in. But who says it has to be boring? And I don't know about you, but I'm a bit of a doodler. So sometimes when I'm making, especially my doodle appointments on the phone, I doodle a lot. So now I've got everything all in one book. Loving it. So this is how it's turned out so far. So like I said before, I have the Smash book elastic, and I'm really, really glad, because after I put all the papers in here, it's really, look at it, would never stay closed. It really got quite thick. This book, though, won't bulk up as much as, say, a journal, because it's not like I'm art journaling in here. Everything is going to be basically flat and one-dimensional. It's just going to be the inks and stuff. So you saw the blank pages like these ones here. So I got those all in another generic month and 5 templates for each week. And so I did that for the entire year. So I got all the way through to here. So this much is left over. So what I might do is, if I find the book's getting too thick, I might remove some of these pages. I will leave some, because I always have particular phone numbers that I always use. So I will make a sheet for that. And contact numbers and also reference numbers I always have in there, but I don't need this many extra sheets. So I'm just going to wait and see if I find it too cumbersome or too thick or something, and then I'll remove some of those. And I'm also going to put some tabs where I put for phone number and for reference number, so I'll just use my tabs, but that's the only tabs I'm going to put in here. So then let's go back to January. Some of January, as you know, is already over. So I started, here's my January. Don't know if you can see it. There you go. And then what I did is I have a whole bunch of those little mini Stampin' Up! Stamps. You can see those tiny little cupcakes there for birthdays. That's my daughter and my husband's birthday. I've got B is for baby. These are appointments for doulas.
So we had an appointment there. We had one on the 10th as well, and we have a mother blessing on the 28th. So what I'm doing on here is just basically putting symbols. The little A's are for appointments for myself, like doctor's appointments. I had 2 that day, and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm going to put there. On this side, I am going to write in detail what I need to do. Now this first week, you notice there was nothing there, so all I did was color here, and I'm going to come back and just doodle and doodle on this page. I'm sure it'll be so full of doodles it won't even be funny. The second week here, as you can see, there I've got that doula appointment there. I took a Zumba class. My doctor's appointments are there. Another doula appointment. So on Sunday I just stayed home, and it says home is where the heart is, with the sun shining. This week I kind of stayed home a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and doodle some more in here. I was just trying different techniques to color the backgrounds and what I wanted to do. So I first started with these watercolors that are on the wheel here, these different ones. They're kind of cool because they're quite handy, and you have them right handy at your desk, and they just sit on this wheel. That was this page here, but I didn't like the colors. Like, I wanted more of a turquoise blue here. I didn't like that blue so much. For these little marks here, these little colorings in the lettering, I use Stamp It Right markers. These. For this week now, I skipped a week. Oh yeah, so this is this week we're in right now. And what I actually find that I know I'm going to just use, love the colors, love the brightness of them, plus the paleness of them. So that even though I color it in, I can still write and still clearly see what I need to do. So an appointment here, I've got my grandsons tonight, went to IKEA yesterday, my daughter's birthday on Sunday, and we're going out for dinner. So just, you can see it, but you can still make it kind of a little bit of a work of art. I love it. Use a little stamp there and colored it in with the Stamp and Write markers. But these are the watercolor crayons that I used, these ones. I picked these up. They were really inexpensive, and I've used them in the past a lot, but I know I'm probably going to use the whole box just playing with this day timer. Another thing I realized about this project, I'm using stuff that I've had that I have not used. Like, I've had these calligraphy markers forever, and I found myself using them to, if you notice little dots here, these ones around the butterfly, and here and down there on the little doodling. I use my pens. I've got a whole little container here. The beauty, my day timer, I always fill in at my desk in my studio here, because this is also my doula office, and so when people call, I always make sure I have my day timer handy. So my watercolor crayons and everything are all going to be here, so this is going to be super funsies for me. On the other side here, as you notice, these lines, so I can put doctor appointments here, any other notes that I need, reminders, lists, whatever, So in each week there's a page like that. And then I went ahead and did the next week that's coming up. So my husband's birthday is right there. I have to fill in here. I should do that right now before I forget that we have a mother blessing to do at 1 p.m. So I'll just put that in here. Mother blessing. And I just, honestly, this is exactly what I wanted for a day timer. And again, cost me $0. I just love how it turned out. It's a very, very, very happy book. So I got as far as next Sunday, and then I've got the week of, I just put the 30th and 31st, because I'm not sure if I'm just going to end the month here and not fill these in, and then just go ahead here and start with February and start on the first here, or if I'm going to put the first here. That's why I didn't do anything there. So you can see how your blank page is. In just a matter of moments, you can have beautiful, colorful book that's just full of doodles and yumminess. So I guess this would be called my first Junque day timer. And honestly, I love how this turned out. So I hope you guys give this a try. So if anybody is interested in putting together one of these day timers, I know you probably could do your own thing, but if you don't have the time or can't be bothered to think of different variations of weekly templates, I've got these ones already. So just send me a private message here on YouTube and I'll let you know how you can get the PDFs for these. That is my day timer. I have to say, I absolutely love it. And it stays in the same theme as my junk journals and all the other junky books that I seem to be making now. This one is just so much brighter. It was a real challenge for me to go bright because I usually go like this with the more grungy, muted, inked up tones. And this is just, but I like to call it my happy day timer. I really like it. It makes me smile. So I hope you guys give it a try, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.